Hey guys, what's up? I'm not really one to make a video, but last night was a very exciting night for me. A package came to me from NilocG, and it's their new CO2 reactor. They actually let me purchase this prior to the actual release date, and I'm very excited about that. So thank you everybody at NilocG for letting me purchase this reactor from you guys. So just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a pro at the Planet Tank game at all. I'm actually new to the Planet Tank game, and being able to purchase this from them prior to the actual release date means a lot to me. It's actually a great encouragement to keep pursuing the Planet Tank hobby. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at how it looks like. So guys, here it is. Let's go open this baby up. This is the reactor. Look at that packaging. Looking great. Sorry, I'm working with one hand here. And what's this? Oh, that's awesome. I'm assuming this is where I install this. It's like a mounting bracket. Vertical indicates, yep, it's a mounting bracket. And here is some screws. But here it is. Oh man, look at that. My first time using a CO2 reactor, and man, oh man, this thing is heavy. This is great. It's, it's built really nice. I'm assuming this is so to help with the bubbles, these little balls. And here it is. I'll install this first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll see how it works. This is my setup. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys can see micro bubbles all over the tank, but it's coming out from my outtake. And this is the stuff that I'm using. Got this stuff from eBay, and it works well. Bubbles that comes out is really tiny. And to be honest with you guys, I don't really base my CO2 on the bubble counter, because if you guys can see this one's about, we're looking about 3 to 4 bubbles per second, but over here, that thing is ridiculously crazy. So I learned not to count on bubble counters as much at all. So this is where the CO2 is going to be coming from. Everything's being gutted right now. Time to clean up the filters. And time to remove this bad boy. I'm actually debating if I'm going to keep it or not, but we will see. We will see. Or under my table, as you guys can see, I can remove the top, which just makes things a lot easier for me. But install this 2x4, and so this is where the brackets go. So let's take a look. Look at that. Alright. I'm not gonna make it a permanent thing, just so when I do water change and I have to clean up the reactor, I can easily remove the bad boy. You guys can see. Let's take it off. My 2x4 is connected there. My tank's a 40-gallon meter, by the way, so here it is. All I have to do is connect this bad boy. Sorry, trying to work with one hand here. And that's where my regulator is gonna be. Right. This is my old CO2 diffuser. Like I said, got this from eBay. And here is the new NilocG CO2 reactor. I mean, you guys can't complain. That looks pretty badass. So let's go ahead and do a quick rundown here. So So what we have here is the CO2. This is my CO2 tubing going into the reactor, and then if you guys look closely, that's where the CO2 is getting released. With that being said, my water goes pumping into here, pushing the air down, and those little balls right there helps break down the CO2 bubbles into micro bubbles or macro, I don't know what's the proper way of saying it, but as you guys can see there, very tiny small bubbles really try to force its way back up into the water. But what happens is those bubbles breaks down even more and finally gets into here, that gets sucked up into the main tank. But as you guys can see, that those bubbles are really tiny. I'm very happy with that. That was the main reason why I'm going with a reactor. And the fact that it's actually trying to force its way down and it stays in the water a lot longer, so it gets diluted into the water a lot more. I mean, that's the reason why having a reactor is more sufficient than just having a stupid diffuser. So here's my tank. As you guys can see earlier, before you can see the bubbles gushing out of the outtake of the water where the water was coming into the tank. Now you can barely see it. Those micro bubbles that you guys are probably seeing are from the plants that was earlier. It's purling a lot right now. So, and let me see, what I mean is, as you guys can see, those are from the plants. As you guys see, purling over there. There's more purling over here. My plants is purling more over there. It's just nuts. So I'll give you guys a quick review on the, well, not a quick review, or just a rundown how everything is looking. Because right now everything just got installed. So far I'm loving it. I am loving it. Alright, I'll be back later. So quick thoughts on the reactor. One thing I would warn people about is if you're using the diffuser compared to a reactor, once you're switching over, you definitely want to go ahead and turn down your CO2. My drop checker, I'm using the 4KDH method, where the drop checker is blue. Once it turns green, it's sufficient. Once it turns yellow, it's too much CO2. I haven't seen my drop checker actually change from blue to yellow in that quick. So I was like, oh, that's how happy I am with this reactor right now. No, I did not gas out my fish. So if that's something you guys are worried about, no, I'm actually took the day off today to make sure that I monitor them, make sure everything is going great. Everything is, okay in my tank. So let me go ahead and show you guys my tank. So this is my tank. The bubbles, the oxygen that the plant is actually releasing has a bigger bubble than what the CO2 is compared to the CO2 bubbles. I mean, you can barely see it now compared to my earlier video. So you guys can see that is coming from the plants. More of it's coming from from the plants purling and whatnot. So that being said, am I happy with the product? Yes, I am. It's day 2. I figured do the video the next day instead of doing the video all on the same day. So you guys are probably wondering what the paper towel is about. Yesterday I did run into some issue. Noticed that there was a droplet of water coming from somewhere, so I placed it in there. 30-45 minutes later, I would notice that there would be like 3 to 4, maybe 5 droplets of water. So I was kind of, you know, wondering where that was from. So I contacted NilocG, responded to me right away, no less than 10-15 minutes. Oh man, what a customer service. And you find out the leak was coming from there. So just all I had to do is remove that, tighten that up, and literally it was a quick fix. So it's now the next day. I don't know if you guys can see any bubbles at all, but I've had my CO2 running for a good couple hours now. Once again, slow bubble, a lot quicker. Don't count on bubble counters, guys. And look at that. I mean, seriously, had my CO2 running for a couple hours now. I usually have it a couple hours prior to lights turning on. No more of that air gush, CO2 gushing out of that outtake. And look at that. It is just gorgeous. So my initial thoughts on the product. It is nice waking up in the morning not seeing tons of bubbles in my tank. I mean, like, it doesn't look like Sprite or soda water. So that's one thing. So far everything looks good. Reactor looks great. It was working great. I diluted the water really, the CO2 really well. And that being said, I'm happy with the product. Should you guys give it a try? You guys gonna have to wait till the release date. But other than that, I'm sorry. This is the best I could do for you guys. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video.